there's still that part of me that's like, I'm afraid to share, because I'm like, these are all the people that have known me from my past, and there being aspects of our past selves that we never felt proud of, and we just want to hide it from the world. Biking is fucking gay. What's better than when you're hungry as fuck and it feels like you have a buffet in front of you? And it's like, you can create your life in a way where every day feels like that, and lose weight while doing it. And these positive feedback loops that don't rely on discipline. You know, they sell you on fear and FOMO, you know? Sells on this fear that until I achieve this arbitrary goal, this big number, then I can't be happy. I'm not successful. I'm not fit. My mission is to figure out, you know, how do I design a life in a way where every moment of that life is as fulfilling as I can make it. But that's why I'm here to tell you, when you can create the joy in the things you do every day, at the same time, they work you towards your goals. That's the sauce. And just one last note, it's like, it is currently 6 a.m. on a Sunday in my tidy whities. About to go hit the gym, a little bit of a physique check. Been training for $20 No, not 20 years, what am I saying? I'm 24, I've been training since I was 14. You know, I look good, but I don't have the, you know, what you're used to seeing online of like these, what the expectation is nowadays for fitness, right? But like what I have, I think is totally attainable in a year and a half. Like knowing what I know now, compared to when I started, because I made so many mistakes when I started that I just would have gone to where I am a lot quicker if I knew. Looks like there's one guy here. All right, the 6 a.m. club. Shoulder day complete, as you can see. By the way, I just noticed how fucking loud the background noise was for you, because I'm plugged into a wireless charger and it has a built-in fan that cools the phone. So I'm fucking sorry about that, because I got pissed listening to that myself. I only filmed a few of the exercises, but how I like to train nowadays is that I'll come 6 to 7 times a week usually. but I don't try to group too much shit into one workout in terms of like trying to hit way too many different muscle groups. You know, honestly, it depends on the day, right? If I've hit something for the week and I feel like, okay, that's good, I'll hit something else that's like I haven't hit for the week, right? So I kind of like try to fill that quota of like making sure everything gets hit as long as I do it, you know, by the time the week is done. And then like that's number one priority, right? And how I focus my sets is that the contraction is everything, right? Mind muscle connection, quality over quantity. And that's not to say that you should avoid quantity or that you should do, let me rephrase that all over again. I don't focus on the number of reps I do so much as the feeling of each and every single rep that I'm squeezing out. So you probably saw in the video, you know, my face was like, yeah. And that's how good it feels. You know, working out to me is meditation. You know, that's what it's become, right? You know, especially when you're starting out in your fitness journey, you think of working out as something to attain your goal, attain your dream physique, whatever, right? So you can finally become confident, become attractive, all of that. And that's how I started. And so when I didn't see progress, or when I would just get frustrated and I'd be in a mental cycle of frustration and self-hatred because I wasn't approaching it from a place of sustainability, right? I was just trying to achieve my goals because I was insecure and I wanted to get away from my insecurity by achieving those goals, right? The way I look at fitness now is completely different. You know, it's a way of life. It's as much of meditation, if not more, than sitting down to meditate. I haven't even really been sitting down to meditate nowadays because it's like when you turn your life into meditation in various aspects, right? I love driving, right? Driving is a meditation, even though I get pissed 10 times and fucking way people drive and shit. Training is a meditation, right? Cooking can be a meditation, right? Where you just like, you can forget everything else and you're just present with the very thing that you're doing. And then it becomes not so much about, oh, will I achieve this? Will I not achieve this? But it's just like, this is a part of you, right? This is just what you do. And you can never lose it. You can never lose what is inherently part of you because it's natural for you to train. It's natural for you to whatever, insert the thing, right? The thing that you've always wanted to do, the thing you've always wanted to achieve, right? The life you've always wanted to lead. It's a lifestyle and not a goal, right? And I think that's where we get it twisted. And that's where I got it twisted for so many years. And I was miserable chasing all of my goals because I was never coming from a state of like, I love myself, I love my life, and I get to wake up every day and this is what I get to do. Instead, I was like, fuck, I have to do this because I'm not there yet and I'm not good enough yet. And like, that's the shift. And also, every rep is like an orgasm. You know how Arnold Schwarzenegger, that's the only way you can say it. You know how he talked about the pump being like an orgasm, something like that, right? It's true. When you work out right, the pain, the lactic acid on every rep you squeeze feels like a little orgasm. You're just like, you know what I mean? Like you're fully in that like primal state, you know? And that's it just feels awesome, you know? If you know, you know. If you don't, you'll have to really lean into it. And also part of it is that when you're starting out, right, you're so in your head. And I'm saying all of this from my own personal experience of what I've learned over the years, right? When you start out, you're so in your head, like, oh, 8, 9, 10, right? You're so in your head, you're like, oh my God, I have 3 more reps to go and then I can finish the set. Okay, I have 3 sets of 10. I'm on set 2, I have 1 more set of 10. It's like, I don't give a shit about that anymore. It's not about that, right? It's just like what I said, it's about the feeling that you feel. It's not about the reps. And the point I'm making here is that you're so inside of your head, right? You're so inside of your, we are over inside of our heads, and that's what causes us to overthink. That's what causes us to procrastinate. That's what causes us to try to distract ourselves. That's what causes us to avoid things. That's what causes us to fear things. That's what causes our depression or anxiety, all of that. And I'm speaking from firsthand experience again, because when I was in my head, I was counting reps and I was all like, but this hurts. You know what I mean? Like when you're out of your head and you're just like fully be with the feeling, right? If you're doing bicep curls, just be with the fucking pain. Just like, you motherfucker. You know what I mean? Get out of your mind and into your body. And this is what meditation partially, fundamentally trains you to do. And this is what training also trains you to do, right? Doesn't matter if it's lifting in the gym, whether it's running or cycling. When you can get your identification outside of your fucking crazy little mind and into the space where your heart beats, where your muscles move, where your heart flows, where your body produces a rhythm, that's when you find that sensation of serenity that you're looking for. And that serenity can sometimes look like aggression, like when I'm working out. Gonna go for a 30-minute bike ride now, and we're gonna use those clip-ons for the first time, and we're not gonna fall because we don't do that, you know. Whew. Okay. Having my feet clipped in actually feels quite nice. I like it. Now I can get the full pedal stroke. We call that efficiency, baby. Now I have to remember to unclip them when I slow down. I feel like I could easily forget now. It just feels so smooth that I forget I have it on. It's fucking potholes. By the way, just because I cycle now, don't be thinking that I think cycling is cool. It's pretty gay. And unfortunately, in order to get my fitness, this is just how I gotta look. Well, at least I'm not in the lycra suit yet, you know, but as much as I'm against it, I think eventually we'll have to head down that route. Ooh, I like it. Yeah, I feel a lot more locked in with these clip-ons. Boy, let me tell you, I'm high as fuck right now. Got the cardio high going. Oh my God. This is perfect. Guys, I just ate shit. I was standing still too. I forgot to take the other foot off. Oh my fucking God. That runner was looking at me like I'm a fucking idiot. He's like, why'd this guy just fall while he was standing? Oh man. See how stupid you look when you're a cyclist? Unfortunately, this is the life path we've chosen. And now we just go deeper and deeper until we start wearing lycra suits and fucking spandex. Like fuck. All right. Just stopped, got a drink of water. We're on our way back. We end this 26 minutes in. Our quota is 30 minutes, so we'll be a little bit past that. I'm gonna stop filming. I'll see you guys on the other side. All right, what did we learn from that bike fall? First of all, life humbles you in the funniest ways, especially when you're being an arrogant little shit. Second of all, when life humbles you with whatever the fuck it throws at you, you just gotta kind of roll with it. Because the more you resist it, the more shit's gonna come your way. And while you're busy juggling 3 shits, a 4th one comes along and knocks you right out. So it's just like judo, right? It's just like Bruce Lee. Go with the flow, my friend. Be like water, my friend. Only then can you move through life with effortless grace. All right, we're coming to a stop. We're gonna unclip. All right, let's go. I'll be brutally honest with you guys. When I started filming myself, like truly raw, yesterday, I guess 2 days ago, when I filmed the emotional video about how I was releasing all of my shame from a single realization. From that point on, like filming this stuff, I can't believe that it's actually so much easier than I've always made it out to be. Because I was always kind of afraid to share who I was, you know, who I truly am, and, you know, my quirks, my person, right? Who I am in my fullest. But it's actually, I'm noticing that this documenting process is actually pretty enjoyable. And I don't want to jinx that, but it's like, it's also accountability for me, because now I'm owning what I want to create. And now that I've put it out into the world, it's almost like my word's my deed, right? I can't go back. I can only go forward. And saying that I'm working on building my online fitness lifestyle business, just saying that and owning it feels really good. So even though we're just beginning, this is a huge step forward. And yeah, I look forward to sharing my journey with you guys, documenting everything, you know, sharing my experience and the knowledge I've gained throughout the years. And what I really hope is that you guys can come out of it with something new, with a fresh mindset, with a new outlook on things. And you don't have to agree with me on everything, right? That's the point of this, is for us to think about what we want to create in our lives and what we don't want to create. And I'm on that ongoing process as well, as we all are, right? It's not self-improvement, and this whole thing about elevating your life is not something that you achieve one day and then you can just sit back on a beach and relax, right? This is what we will do for the rest of our lives, is spend our lives living our lives. And, you know, my mission is to figure out, you know, how do I design a life in a way where every moment of that life is as fulfilling as I can make it. So that's really my entire mission, right? And I talk about things like fitness, self-improvement, cold showers, meditation, spirituality, philosophy, you know, business, whatever, right? But all of it is just part of a bigger whole, right? And that whole is your life. So yeah, right now we are, the bike shoes have the tag because I didn't know if I was going to return the shoes, but they actually fit really nice. So I'm going to clip these off. And just one last note, it's like, I want to make the channel, I want to make the business, I want to make my brand, my presence about overcoming ourselves and overcoming our own blocks and our own limitations. Like, even as silly as it sounds, biking, I have forever thought biking is fucking gay. And yet here I am doing it. And what does that say about me? Maybe it says that I'm fucking gay. With a capital G. It's like, you can always change your mind about something, right? You don't have to hold this rigid mindset. Oh, this is what it means to be a man. I have to show no emotion. Like, you get what I'm pointing at, right? But it's like, so many different levels of our lives are unlocked by our willingness to step out of being what we've always known and what we've always thought was safe, and to step into that new thing, whether it's taking on fucking cycling or speaking to the camera for the first time, right? Or starting at the gym, recording your first video, right? Speaking to that girl, right? Like, it's the amount of things is endless, right? And it's like, how many things do we not know that we're holding ourselves back in? But once we realize, and then it's like, holy shit, I didn't even know this the whole time. But now that I know, it's like, I have to push through, because I want to keep expanding my life to greater and greater levels. I actually can't believe that how much fun I'm having just saying what I want to say and truly getting myself out there. Like, I always felt so fucking resistant on like truly being raw and like fully real. So yeah, this feels really good. But it's 9 a.m. and we're at the kitchen island, and I'm gonna journal about what I'm gonna do today. And I guess I'll bring you along, because we're kind of doing a day vlog, right? And I know I'm doing it in portrait. I just started posting stories and posting on Instagram and all that, and I'm still resistant on it. And I'll be fully honest with you guys, I started a new account with 0 followers. And I had an account from like when I started in high school that has 300 followers. But it's like, there's still that part of me that's like, I'm afraid to share, like, to put it out on that account, because I'm like, these are all the people that have known me from my past, and that was a totally different version of me, right? And then I'm like, I guess I'm ashamed of that version of myself, hey? That's another source of shame. See, we're just exposing all of this, right? And holding nothing back, right? And it's the moments when you don't hold anything back, when I don't hold anything back, first and foremost from myself. It's like, that's when we create that connection, to ourselves and to those we're speaking to. So I'm definitely going to get over it, because I'm already starting to think that I'm going to post to my first account anyway, because like starting from a 0 account feels like I'm just doing it out of fear, I guess, to avoid the judgment of that's made up in my mind, right? I'm sure some of you can relate to this. There being aspects of our past selves that we never felt proud of, and we felt ashamed of, and we just want to hide it from the world. But the truth of the matter is that you're no longer that person anymore. You're no longer that person. And it's liberating when you can look back and not feel ashamed about it, but feel loving and understanding of that's just who you had to be at the time because of the circumstances that were going on in your life, and you did your very best to cope with those circumstances. And even though they're not optimal from the optimal state of view, it's like it's the best that you could have done. And that's the whole point of this journey, right? It's like we're becoming better and better. We're raising our minimum best, right? the best that we got 5 years ago is completely different from the best that we got now, and hopefully in a very positive way. But I know if you know, no matter what you do, it always, some way, shape, or form, it will always head in a positive direction. So, yeah, the reason I filmed in a portrait was initially I was like, oh, I'll just make these like story type videos, right? But I realized like I enjoy filming long form so much better. And that's part of the reason why I started on YouTube too, is like I like the long form because we can actually like go deep, right? The short form is just fucking like brain rot and just like overstimulation. So, okay, I wrote this out in my journal today. Day in the boring life of a 24-year-old dropout building an online fitness lifestyle business. Let's change that to day in my life as a 24-year-old dropout building online business. Yeah, it's like you learn these skills online, like copywriting, all that stuff, and then like get to put them into use, hey? Clickbait is a skill, you know? You look at it and you hate it. Some people hate it, some people are drawn to it because they're baited into it, but it's like, it's all copywriting. It's all a skill, right? And all these things you unlock as you dive deeper, right? It's all about depth. It's all about depth. And for me, it's like I want to build a brand that's truly authentic and truly like open and honest and truthful. And like now that I'm truly owning this, like I can say this. So I guess it's a big step for me. Okay, so we're focusing on 3 pillars in my life right now, basically. First is my fitness. And I like to get that out of the way first thing in the morning, right? So I'll train at the gym practically every day, right? And it'll be a different like workout every day, depending on what I want to work on. Right now I'm focused on calisthenics. So I'll practice a calisthenics skill. Like I started out with a handstand and then move on to my like bodybuilding physique stuff, right? For aesthetics. And then after the gym, I'm going to do a form of cardio. So the 30 minutes. Sometimes I'll just do the indoor bike at the gym. I'll run. You know, I have a goal of running at least a half marathon this year, because my cardio has always been something I've lacked and I just like never stepped into because I was so focused on lifting, right? I was that pudgy lifter, right? Had that like body fat and like, you know, the lifter, but it doesn't look that good. It's just like fat, the muscle underneath, you know, the chubs. So cardio I'll do, you know, indoors at the gym after my workout, like, you know, bike or run. And I was running, but I just paused running because it's like my foot has been fucking, I don't know if it's an impact fracture or something, but it's just like, I gotta let it rest. So, you know, as much as I tried to push through it for half a year, but like it's still here. So yeah, I'm gonna have to put my ego aside. So now I'm just cycling. So like today I went out for the actual cycle outside. So that was nice. So first pillar that I'm really focused on in my life is my fitness right now, because it's really one of the core things that, you know, it's part of life. It's part of my life. And second pillar we're working on is my business. This is part of my business, right? Showing you who I am, what I stand for, you know, my mindset, my philosophy about things. And if you resonate with me, then, you know, somewhere along the way, down the line, and you trust me enough, and I've built that trust with you, then you might decide to work with me. A business, so focusing on making content, right? And then, starting to build out my offer, my packaging, my funnel, all of that stuff. And I know to some of you, that stuff might sound kind of like, like, ugh, you get a queasy feeling when you hear those words. And I did for a long time, because the truth of the matter is that there's a bunch of shady characters in the online business space, and the sales space, the coaching space, the whatever space, right? And unfortunately, this is just what the online world has become, right? 10 years ago, it was like everything on here was made out of passion, out of hobby, out of curiosity. Nowadays, it's all about making money. How can I maximize my profit? How can I print cash? How can I generate leads? How can I close sales? And that has disgusted me for a long time. So it's like I've always sought a way to, like, how do I create something where it's not that, And first of all, being truthful like this is a part of how I see myself doing that. So, but regardless, the back end things have to get created, right? The content, the front end, and then the back end, the actual business. So we're building that. And then third pillar is my estate. I call it my estate because it sounds more luxurious, more grand. My home, my house. We passed final inspection earlier this week. Just got to submit a few more documents in, but inspector's not going to come back, so, yeah, just little touch-ups here and there, but basically done. Right now, my project still for my estate is my office. I haven't built it out yet. Maybe I'll show you in a bit, but it's a complete mess right now. And basically, I'm working on building my dream office where everything's going to come to life, right? The entire vision of my life, right? My office, my body, my business, all of it, right? And I just built this home that's part of it too. This is where everything starts coming to life, So again, I'm tying this back again. It's like, it's not about just tunnel visioning in yourself on like fitness or like business. Oh, gotta make 10K a month. Because in the online business, that's all they talk about. I grew to 20K a month in 90 days. Here's how you can copy my exact formula to do the same, right? And in business, the same version of that is how to get six-pack abs in 90 days while going to the gym 2 times a week. Shit like that, right? So, work on my office. God damn. Gonna tint the windows today because computers, like the desk is right in front of the window, so I just want that privacy, right? And I haven't decided what I want to do for the walls. Right now they're just like painted white drywall, but that's boring as hell. So I don't know if I'll do some concrete plaster or something, but like that's gonna take a few days, probably take, well, at least a full day of work. Or at least, yeah. So, yeah, we'll see. But man, yeah, I guess it'll be fun. We can document it, share it with you. Use it as a form of meditation therapy to just take my mind off of always thinking about like fitness or not fitness so much, but business, right? And how to build it, because that's what my mind is mostly on nowadays. But yeah, tint the windows and start setting up our main setup desk. and our monitors. Yeah. Right now I have an old ass PC. It's a 1080 Ti, which is a fucking beast. That's the most beast of a graphics card ever. But the CPU is like a Intel i7 6700K or a 7700K, but that shit's ancient. That shit is bottlenecking my PC. I promised myself I would not get an upgrade until like I made my first $5,000 from my business. So that's kind of like my giddy reward to build, you know, a brand new gig. So that way I can serve you better and create better stuff, provide more value. And yeah, I want this to be a full circle thing, you know. It's not I win. It's we all win, and that's what it's about. And unfortunately, it's a common thing that's just forgotten. So yeah, that is my day. Tint window and set up monitors, drill grommets. All right, it's a Sunday. Like I said before, I usually fast on the weekdays until 5 p.m. But on the weekends, I like to do this thing where I'll just eat a nice, good breakfast, and then I'll fast until dinner. So I'll skip lunch. And people say, it's not fasting. Whatever, man. What we're gonna do is we're gonna make, and oh yeah, this isn't portrait, but I kind of want the versatility of being able to post into shorts and reels as well as YouTube videos. So I'm sorry about the YouTube viewers, the quality, the dimensions are a little shoddy, but I'll figure it out. Because I can't decide whether to post stuff on shorts or long form, so I'll just post both and just go both ways. But it'll get better over time. So we're gonna make scrambled eggs, 4 scrambled eggs, and bagel with cream cheese, and we're gonna make our the latte we've been having almost every day, the matcha hojicha latte. Bagels, 200 calories, 4 eggs, around like 300. So that's 500 already. And then cream cheese. Cream cheese, how much will that be? Latte will probably be like 100 calories. And cream cheese will be, so we'll see, it'll say 80 calories. So in total, what is that? 3, 5, 6, almost 700. I'm too lazy to scramble my eggs in a bowl, so I just crack them straight in and then scramble them on the pan. Let's see what I got. Garlic powder, mushroom umami blend. Let's do that. And some soy sauce. Soy sauce is the GOAT. Stuff is pretty good. Gives that umami. Garlic, oh. Garlic powder, whatever, I love garlic. Garlic powder. Soy sauce. Give it a little mix and we're all done. I love using food as a motivator. In the fitness space, it's like these crash diets and these things where you discipline yourself, eat chicken and salad and all that stuff, right? But it's like, I'm a fat kid at heart, and that's fucking what I am, and I love food, and it's just like, create a system where you can enjoy your food and not go over budget and not have to feel like shit about it. Because what you're doing is you're creating reinforcement loops. You're creating reinforcement loops by rewarding yourself for working out with food. Not shit food, but like good food. And then the next day, you can look forward to working out, because if you work out, then you get rewarded with food. This is what we got. And like I said, right, on most days, I reward myself with food. I fast throughout the day, but I reward myself with a latte in the morning after my workout. And then I fast until 5 p.m. And that's when I reward myself with the meal, the entire meal, right? I get to have a huge, big meal, one meal, right? So I feel like I can really enjoy myself, because what's better than when you're hungry as fuck and it feels like you have a buffet in front of you. And it's like, you can create your life in a way where every day feels like that. And lose weight while doing it, because you can do it in a way where you can lose weight and not overeat. But it's like, that's why I preach so much, creating systems that work for you, and these positive feedback loops that don't rely on discipline. Like, I don't need to rely on discipline to go until 5 p.m. because I know what's coming. A buffet of food for dinner, and it's like, it feels better to have that single meal and get to just enjoy it, rather than feeling like, oh, I can eat now, but then it's like, if I eat it now, then like dinner, I can't eat much anymore, because if I eat much, then I'll go over my macros and stuff, right? Making my latte. Been on a pause on coffee, because coffee gets me like all jittery and stuff, and then it like makes my anxiety levels a little bit higher from the hyper focused awareness. Makes my anxiety a little bit just less. I'm more like so it's like with the fasting thing, right? It's like, I choose, like some days I'll choose not to have the latte, but it's like, I find that if I have the latte, then it quells that little, like, after my workout and after my cardio, of course I'm gonna be a little bit hungry, right? And having that latte kind of just gives myself that reward for working out, right? So it's like, all of it is positive reinforcement. And I don't have to beat myself up for like, oh, but you have to fast fully until 5 p.m. or else, it's not a true fast. You don't get the benefits of the fast. Okay, but I get the benefits of what's sustainable. And what you can stick to over the course of 10 years is more valuable than what you can only stick to for 6 months. Okay, because I'm talking on the camera, I'm like not focused on my proportions. I'm trying to like get the latte thing down. It's kind of an art skill to get that good latte. This is oat creamer, sweet. I've not been having dairy much. I guess the cream cheese is dairy, but generally haven't been having much dairy. All right, bring you along. Telling you guys the 45-inch sink is a game changer. And I know I haven't shown the accessories, but if you guys care, I'll show them. All right, here we go. Going in. See that? That's my version of the leaf right now. I'll bring it up closer for you in a bit. Look, this is my version of the latte leaf. What do you think? No focus. Oh, that's delicious. The key is that for this specific latte, it has to be sweet enough. The sweetness helps bring out the flavors. You know, I didn't understand the meaning of personal brand until now. I mean, I understood it, but I didn't live it until now. What the fuck? Because there's so many people, you know, on X, you know, that's where I was building for a little bit, trying to build a personal brand, but it's like, it's all just like generic self-improvement advice, and like, it's just like not actual personal branding. Anyway, look at this. Stop following my face. Follow the food. Oh, there we go. All right, now we feast. Utter perfection. When you can enjoy little moments of life like this every single day, that's how you know you're on the track to achieving everything you want. And the biggest delusion is is thinking of we need to achieve these big, big goals in order to find the wealth, the freedom, the happiness, the success. But it's these little things that make you happy on a day-to-day basis. That is the fuel for your success, the fuel for your wealth, the fuel for all of it. And if you can't build a life that you enjoy now, what makes you think you're going to have a life you enjoy later, even when the success so comes? It's backwards. And it's really easy to fall into this trap because all of society is selling you this. Hell, all of the online, the digital product space, the coaches, the whatever, it's like, they sell you on fear and FOMO, how to make your first million in 2025 and whatever, right? It's like it sells on this fear that until I achieve this arbitrary goal, this big number, this statistic, then I can't be happy. I'm not successful. I'm not fit. I'm not happy. And that's the biggest illusion of all. You can be successful every single day on your way to success. And that's the fucking key. To build success into your day, build happiness, build wealth, build fitness, all of it. Build it into your day. Live it. And what you live, you become. Because that's just who you are. This is fucking delicious. Let me know if you enjoy these ASMRs or you fucking hate them. But I think I'm going to keep doing them because I don't care. I enjoy it. The way that cream cheese hits that toasted bagel and the way that egg just melts with it all. Again, this is actually fun. I know I'm just documenting my boring day, in my life, but it's like, realistically, this is just realistic, you know what I mean? Like, I know social media has skewed our minds so fucking fucked with this perception of like, oh, life has to become this certain way, right? But it's like, if you can just enjoy your day-to-day and what you do, what you stand for and who you are, right? What do you value? Then it's like, there's nothing to look for in that sense. Right? Of course you have goals, but it's like there's nothing to you're it. And that's the thing, right? Like, social media has become a performance that people, normal everyday people who watch it, start to feel like, oh, well, my life isn't like that. Like, fuck, my life kind of feels like shit. Like, you know, like, if I don't have a life that they're living, it's like, well, you know. But that's why I'm here to tell you. When you can create the joy in the things you do every day, at the same time, they work you towards your goals. That's the sauce. I've said that about like 5 times in different ways now, so I'm gonna stop. But that's the message I'm gonna keep hammering home on this channel over and over and over again until some of you get it. For those of you who don't get it. Oh heavens. As you can see right now, it's just an absolute mess. I'm gonna do my main setup right here in the center. So I'm gonna move that monitor over there, install monitor mounts, and but first we gotta tint that window. I'm gonna do these in the afternoon once I step away from the kind of the office work, right? The computer work. But for the morning, I'm gonna edit out this content and then think of my strategy and basically, I don't even know yet, but we're gonna build. So yeah, lock in, focus, and see you in the afternoon. All right, it's fucking 3 p.m. already, and we just finished editing the portion of the video up until this point. But I think I'm gonna keep adding the rest of my day into this point because fuck it, why not? It's like an hour long already, but if you're a real one, you're still here, and that's really who I'm trying to speak to, right? Um, you know, the people who resonate with my message and like genuinely get it, that's who I'm trying to speak to, and this is what makes it all worth it. Because you know, I'm having fun doing this, and I get to finally like let myself out. You know, there's so much inside of me that just needs to boom 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 throw stripper money at you. But I'm gonna probably stop now because I said I would work on my office in the afternoon. The thing with me is like I try to do so much every day, and then like when I don't finish what I want like let's say realistically a task will take me 5 hours, but I'll be like, oh well, I'll finish this in an hour and a half, and then I'm not done by an hour and a half, and I'm just like fuck. And I don't know, I spend a lot of my days like that where I'm just trying to cram in more, 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 more. So that's something I'm still working on in myself, right? That's the ambition side of me. That's the excitement I get when I work on stuff that I care about. Um, but yeah, it's good to not stay on one single thing for too long because the energy starts to run out and then you start getting frustrated and it's just like things don't go your way, right? So that's when it's good to step away and to start to do work on a fresh task that requires a different part of your, energy. So that's what we're gonna do now. By the way, that's how I lulled you guys. See, as soon as I open YouTube, I just see all of these fucking thumbnails that grab all my attention. I just forget what my original intention is. That's how scary social media is. Oh boy. It's gonna be a long day. Respect to winnow tinders. They make it look easy. I'm a perfectionist, but sometimes you gotta bite your tongue, swallow your ego, and just be okay with what you got, even though you know you can do so much better. Let's see what the outside looks like. Yeah, for sure. I think that helps a lot. We're gonna let this dry out. And after it dries out, we can, oh, I have no words left in me. Well, it's not perfect. You can definitely see some scrape marks, but it'll do the job. It'll do the frickin' job. I'm not sure if you can see from the camera, on the right window especially. We got privacy now, so that's good. Man, that tired me the fuck out. That was an hour and a half, but now it's 5 p.m. and we're getting ready to unwind our day. All right, so 5:30. I kind of spent the past 20 minutes on YouTube watching not so useful things. But when your mind is like exhausted and it's fatigued, put on something that hypnotizes you into the right vibration. Whether that's success, whether that's confidence, whether that's like motivation, inspiration, right? A beautiful landscape of Switzerland. Like for me, for some reason, I'm really drawn to Switzerland. Right? Like stuff that like can subconsciously infiltrate your mind and fill your mind up with what you want out of life, basically, is what I'm saying. Because in moments where your mind isn't like actively thinking about like, oh, I have this and this to do, I haven't done that today, and then when your mind is in rest, right? When it's not active in being the, trying to control your life, that's the best time to put on stuff that has to do with the life and the reality that you want to create for yourself. Because in that way you can program yourself subconsciously, since your conscious mind isn't in the way and always interfering, right? What's also critical is that when you're not conscious and you're just kind of like out of fuel, is that you don't put on shit that drains you, that makes you go into fear, that makes you anxious, that makes you depressed, that makes you think lesser of life, that makes you look at humanity like a shitty fucking thing, right? It's like when someone comes home from a long day of work and they turn on the news, what does that do to them? It programs them, it hypnotizes them into this fear state, into this anxiety state of viewing the world as such and such. And all of the such and such, and I'm speaking about now, is all negative, right? Of viewing a certain group of people as such and such, right? So it's like, it's important you're conscious of what you're putting into your mind, right? Because what you program yourself with is what you start thinking. And what you start thinking is what you start looking for, right? You look for the opportunities you think of, right? Some people look for pain. Some people look for success. But it's like, subconsciously, if you're looking for, consciously, if you're trying to look for success, but subconsciously you're always thinking of failure and like you're not good enough, right? It's not a conscious thing, it's a subconscious thing, right? Then you'll always get the result of like, oh, but I'm trying to be successful. Why can't I ever do it? Why can't I ever do it? It's because of this, right? So it's like, take whatever opportunity you can get to get yourself into the right state. And that changes everything, even though you cannot consciously know it. But it's like these things, you run your life subconsciously and you think you're doing it consciously, but you're doing the same patterns, right? And when you can reprogram it, you won't even notice that you're changing until you look back, like 3 years back, 2 years back. You're like, huh, I'm a completely different person. How did I get here? Right? It's all, your conscious mind is the tip of the iceberg. Everything is underneath the surface of the ocean. So that's what I wanted to say. Right now I'm working on drilling the grommet hole. Because what we need to do is we need to drill the grommet hole in order to run the wires. So that thing I took out earlier, right now it's down here, and I'm just gonna drill this out. Also, you gotta listen to, where the fuck is it? This book.
And the better times never come. Happiness always looms somewhere in the future. The false stereotype asserts that if in this future is to be your present, it has to be fought for, earned, and finally achieved.
This is a book that will change your life. So if you're still in this video and you like listen to this book, like leave a comment and let me know. Let me know you're still here, because you're a real one and I want to know who you are. So right now the plan is I have a outlet here. I'm gonna have to run it underneath the desk, and then I'm gonna have to run it underneath the desk into here to power the monitors and the peripherals. And then there's an outlet here as well, so I'm gonna drill down and then make a grommet, and then also attach it here just for redundancy, for more power. And I'm gonna put the PC, I'm gonna put it over here, because right now I know I have this like space here for the PC, but like, I guess it would work, but no, it could work, yeah. I'm just deciding whether, because I want to, once I get my new PC at some point, I want to be able to display it, you know, because PCs are sexy. So I'll see. I can do it either way. All right, I'm just gonna leave it here. Take this last one out. I'm gonna go help my dad make dinner, and we'll get back to this when we get back to it. Finish dinner, and I'm gonna drive out to the water. Gonna watch the sunset and work on editing the video. Just chill out casually, you know, hang out, read a book, you know, just enjoy our evening before bed. We're gonna get some gas and head home, take a shower, go to sleep. Simple day. Tomorrow we make more progress. I hope you enjoyed spending the day with me here. And if you've watched this far, please leave some comment letting me know, because I appreciate you and I want to acknowledge you, because you're a real one, and that's some good shit. This is a note I wrote from years back from the Tao Te Ching. He loves and forgives, trusts and lets circumstances complete themselves. Poised, centered, and content, he is truly rich. Because he has nothing to prove, everything flocks to him. is the Tao. This is I'm sharing some like very intimate stuff. This is a death note I wrote a few years back. I keep it tucked up here. Let's read it. Death Note. Originally written December 27th, 2001. Edited April 3rd, 2022. Brackets. Time is meaningless. Title. Just in case I die before I'm supposed to. I'm free. All the worrying, all the anxiety, all the fears I've spent my living energy on are nothing. Nothing really matters at the end of it all. It's just for fun. And I can laugh about it now that I'm dead, because it was all a funny joke. It was amazing. The drama of life was all a dance. There was nothing to achieve. There was nowhere to go. But I had to spend my whole life pretending like there were things to do, because that's just the game I had to play. Now that I've been forcibly liberated by death, bracket, trust me, I planned on living till I was 120, end of bracket. I couldn't do a thing if I tried. Yet I do everything without trying. I am talking about the Tao, God, infinite consciousness, the universe, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's the life essence that animates existence. I have merged back into it through death. No longer is my essence focalized in a single individual, as Cyrus Yang, because I have merged back into the universal consciousness. Look around, I am still here. Don't ever say you miss me, because I haven't gone anywhere. I never left, only my body has. I happen to have dropped my suit of meat and bones, but I'm still here. One day when you're looking at a sunset, eating a steak, or admiring the stillness of the water, you just might feel my presence. No, you're not tripping. It's always been there. I've always been there. Here. And I will be smiling, waiting in every place you have the courage to find me. I was never afraid of dying, so don't think I suffered. Cherish my death like a cheers at the dinner table, like you're laughing at something so trivial, in which you thought was so important many years ago. Don't be sad. Be happy. Celebrate. Don't mourn. Death is like the changing of the seasons. It's just as natural as the intervals of sunshine and rain. While I don't agree with the very poor decision of having my meat and bones rendered non-functional before I wanted to go, what am I gonna do? Complain? For as long as you hold me in your heart, I will still be here. You didn't lose anything. Love is in the heart, and that's all there is. My physical form may be gone, but love is still there, here. Love can never be taken away. Life is astonishing when all you see is love. If you still don't understand anything I just said, you don't have to try to. Mom, Dad, I love you. But don't stress and don't regret anything at all. Don't conflict yourself with shame, guilt, and regret. I mean it. Please don't. If you have to, then you have to. But take a break once in a while. It's not that serious. Most people go through life thinking life is serious and that everything is serious. It's not. Most people also go through life trapped in an endless cycle of cause and effect, thinking they are unworthy of joy and believe they deserve to suffer because of X, Y, and Z. But don't fall into that trap, because you are always worthy of love and joy. Drop the idea of cause and effect and instead realize you're always causing an effect in every moment. There is no way around this fact. Love is conditionless, and you have the power of unconditional love within. Do not fear. Do not worry about worrying. Do not feel guilty about guilt. Do not feel shameful of shame. Rejoice in all of it, the good and the bad, all of it. There are no separate distinctions in the state of love. Life goes on, so go with life. Go with it. Live it out like there's nothing better to do. Be present with each moment. The past and the future are illusory bullshit. It's always now. Life gets so rich when you drop the bullshit and see it for what it really is. Here, now, forever and ever and ever and ever. When you are here, you are now. When you are now, you are timeless. When you are timeless, you are eternal. When you are eternal, you are unconditioned. When you are unconditional, you dwell limitlessly in the state of love. Love, ya dead boy, Cyrus. I teared up reading my own letter. That's actually kind of fucking poetic. And I'm gonna leave this at the very end of the video. But to the viewer who's made it this far, I hope you've learned something and feel renewed in your passion to live life. Because life is a beautiful thing that you can't really put into words. But in moments like these, when you feel the amount of awe, you really have no words to describe life. And that's exactly the beauty of it. You don't have to chase it. When you find it, it finds you. And you just have to open yourself up to allow it into your life. Like the sunshine shining on your face. And you realize, this is it. Alright, end it there. See you tomorrow.